maybe in some certain cases, good idea for when you choose to maybe take a college chemistry class because it's required for your major. Do you ever think, I hope I can remember all of this material? I think it would be foolish to think I'm going to know how to do all of this stuff that we learned in high school. I think that's true, but I don't know if it's going to be one of those aspects you're going to know how to do everything on the first day and when it's first taught to you. Some of you probably could, but in certain cases, sometimes I think it's a good idea to go over a review. Do you remember this guy? Okay. What was significant about this number? Do you know? Yes, it's a conversion factor from atoms to moles. That's how many atoms are in 1 mole of a substance. In other words, every time you look at the periodic table, any element that you pick, I just always use sulfur for some reason. Every time you reach 32 grams, you would have 1 mole of that substance. And if you have 1 mole of that, that's how many atoms of that substance that you would have. Now, whether you do or don't remember that, maybe it's a good idea to sometimes review those concepts. The reason I say that again, because if I'm bringing it up, I guarantee you a college professor is going to be bringing that up as well. And probably say, you should have learned that in high school. It's at that time, we hope that, oh yeah, I remember doing that. It's not that you don't know how to do it, it's just one of those aspects you just need a quick refresher. But I also think it's kind of foolish to believe that you're going to learn everything that you need to know at this level for taking college chemistry. That's probably not going to happen. We need to pick and choose what it is that we would cover throughout the course of a school year. All right. So, while this is warming up, can you name or remember any of the organic families that we have talked about? Give me one. Alcohols. How do you know you're dealing with an alcohol? It has an OH. What other organic families might there be? Esters. How would you know you're dealing with an ester? Okay, and that's fine. I mean, it's foolish to believe to think we're going to remember this after a 2-day weekend. Okay, so alcohols, esters. There should be 2 more. Ethers and acids. Okay, some of them are very similar in structure. Others are quite far apart. Okay, so this is actually new material, not quite this far. If I remember right, we had left off with, was it this one or this one? I think it was this one. So I remember talking about acids.
I don't think we're done that. We're way up there still. We're up at functional groups with carbon and
Yeah, we did this.
We've
Yeah.
not done that.
We've not done this one?
No.
Oh, okay. I would not have guessed that. Okay. So hopefully the sound is, oddly enough, I think last Friday I forgot to turn the microphone. How idiotic is that? That's probably why I have really saturated hydrocarbons up there. These are unsaturated still. And the reason that these are unsaturated is because we're talking about double and triple bonds. Those are very easily broken. Okay? Single bonds take a lot more energy. So those compounds are quite stable. These are rather unstable. greatly appreciated practice before school like that. Is a part too early stuff. Okay. Okay. This material. Okay.
Some of us didn't have it.
Okay. All right. So this is how we started the day, saying that yes, we know we've got an alcohol because it has that OH, and then you just change the suffix from ANE to ON. No, it's not that. It's just all the moving parts that go into this different looking school. You know, and no, you students work, can we go outside? That is a valid question. No, I don't take that as we're complaining that's hot. We all know that's hot. But one of the things, if you're busy, get at it, and you probably step outside for some fresh air. I know it's hot in here too. I mean, to make a biochemist or organic chemist figure that out. Anyway, so as we keep moving, then, okay, now I want to do this one, and where does this? I want to make sure we get through this, and then I'll put a few things up on the board, and then we'll probably see where we're at. This is what I told the cross-country runners, do as I say, don't do as I do. Have you ever heard that before? Okay? See, you're all high-condition athletes, so you could probably drink coffee too in a winter pack. I say, there, you should not be drinking coffee, especially if you're participating in athletics, and that's where I say, do as I say, don't do as I do. Anybody drive down to Centerville? Easy to get there?
Almost missed the.
I'm trying to think. It goes probably the Davis exit, then Viberg, then it might be Centerville after Viberg. Not really sure. Then you get off on that exit, go left. I want to say that school is on the northeast side of town. I don't think it's, or the football complex. I don't know if it's, I think it's separate from that school. You get, when you're going south, you go west. Yeah. I'm so used to coming in from Hurley, so then you would be going. Yeah. Now I think about it, yeah, you're probably right. Yes, you would go west. Okay. So does everyone have this information that wants it? There's some things that I want to get written up on the board. By that time, we'll probably be pretty close to 9 o'clock. Okay. So keep in mind, the author says substituent. I think a better term for that is an organic family. Okay? And an organic family is different from a derivative. Okay. So does anyone remember how you name these parent chains from 1 through 10? The simplest hydrocarbon is what? This, which is called what? Starts with an M, and it was up on the board last slide. That is methane, but it would be a methyl derivative. Okay. Then we go up to 2 carbons. And this one is called, that's the derivative, methane. Okay. So you're at your campground or you're out on the back deck, you fire up the grill, and this is in your tank. Propane, yes. One of the significant things about propane is when it's under pressure, that's how you can transport it. It's actually liquid. Then when you release it under the pressure from a big storage tank, okay, then it turns into, excuse me, a gaseous substance. And then that's what allows that to burn in your grill. Now, some houses, you may have the option to hook up to your central line for natural gas, then you're burning methane. I don't think it's very common, but you could do that. But the fixtures in your grill, you'd have to change. Anyway, okay. Then we go up to 4. And this is in those handy dandy lighters that you would use. Pull the trigger. It is butane. Then going from 5 through 10, okay, it's named after the geometrical shape. See, is this material kind of starting to, oh yeah, now I kind of remember this from not just physical science, but last year in general chemistry. And that's part of the, not your problem, but not being here in the classroom. That's where it's unfortunate that we didn't able to do it. Okay. So 5 is what? Pentane. 6 is hexane. 7 is your heptane. 8, 9, and 10. So we're not going to spend a lot of time writing all these parent chains. One of the things that I think, how many of you are taking some sort of, is dual credit considered as a college class? Okay. Do you feel that in that dual credit class, do you move faster than what you would in a high school class? Would you agree with that? Okay. So one of the things, we're going on some presumptions here, not assumptions. we're going on some presumptions that you do remember this material, that we go a little faster because one, this is an upper level course, but it doesn't mean that you cannot ask questions. But if you do fall behind when we're going over this, not asking or taking the time to clarify what it is we're talking about is not going to be very beneficial for yourself. And that is, in my opinion, bad habits setting yourself up for, I wouldn't say it's not setting you up for failure, but it's going to be a lot more difficult when you're out on your own. Because there is no one in college saying, you need to go talk to the teacher assistant. You need to go do this. Okay? No one telling you that. Okay? And I think you would agree, you agree, you know, we're 17 and 18 years, 17 years old in here. I don't know. Yeah, okay, 17 to 18 years old. Okay, so you're gonna have to take that initiative to do that. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about some of these derivatives. Okay, we'll just do a couple. All right. So remember we said X marks the spot. So if I put this down here and then I'm going to erase this, okay? Because remember, that was a straight chain of butane, C4H10, okay? So what is our molecular formula here? How many carbons are there? Total carbons. How many total carbons are there? Okay. How many total hydrogens are there? I bet there's 10. 10, right? Yeah. Okay. So when someone said 3, it's not that you were totally incorrect. You're getting too far ahead of yourself. Okay? Because now when we're going to name this, now you look at the parent chain, and that parent chain has how many? There is your answer of 3. Okay? So what is the parent chain name for 3 carbons? Okay? I should say the prefix, which would be that, prop. Everything is single bonded, so the organic family is a what? It's an alkane, so therefore your suffix then is this, okay? So this is saying that we'd have propane. If we cover this up, that would be correct. But is there anything branching off of that propane? And the answer is yes. There's nothing wrong with saying X marks the spot, okay? So on that middle carbon, there's something branching off of here. Now, this is a carbon-to-carbon bond. How would that be different than a carbon and hydrogen bond? Well, that would be methane. But if that is carbon-to-carbon, this is no longer an alkane, but it's a derivative derived from methane. Therefore, this CH3 is what derivative? Okay, and this is what we're talking about, okay? So if this is all carbon and hydrogens, we know this is methane. But if this is a carbon-to-carbon bond, like what we have up here, now we have CH3 instead of CH4. Therefore, this methane then gets changed to that methyl. Okay? And then from prior knowledge or prior experiences, what might the next thing you be? What might the next thing you do to finish this? Where is that methyl group located? Are we asking Google? Are we asking Google? Oh, I'm just curious. That's all. All right. So this methyl group then, as you said, is on the second carbon. Now, dashes separate numbers from letters, and commas separate numbers from other numbers. Okay, so that was fairly straightforward. You can always reverse engineer this, okay? Maybe some of you remember from last year, you'd walk into general chemistry and you would see, what's that? Gurgling noise. Okay. All right. Anyway, a box, I always like to illustrate, this is your organic family. Okay. So if it's a suffix of ane, it's telling you it's an alkane. That means that there's only carbon and hydrogen in there. That makes sense? Okay. So then this is telling you your organic family. This is telling you your parent chain. So therefore, that tells you how many carbons are in your parent chain here. Okay, 3. This is saying you've got a derivative, and we know what's the formula for a methyl group. And no, then that'd be an ethyl group. What's the formula for a methyl group? And how many hydrogens? Yeah, there they are. 1, 2, 3. So this is saying we've got a methyl group, or you could say it's right here. Okay. Remember, this is a carbon-to-carbon bond, and then this is just telling you where that methyl group is located. All right. Left outside, you're on the bus. Left middle. Right middle. Thought you were going to be next. You two didn't. Okay, so middle. All right. So let's go ahead and look at this. So that was pretty simple. Oh, good, good, good. All right, let's do something like this. Okay, after naming this, we'll stop there for today. So, what is the very first thing that you should do when you see these compounds? Find the longest parent chain. How many carbons are in your parent chain? Okay, so what type of organic family is all of this? Yeah, it's an alkane, so therefore we know here's our suffix, okay, because it's only carbon and hydrogen, it's all single bonded, okay, so how many carbons are in your parent chain, okay? All right, is there anything branching off that parent chain? The answer would be yes, and we say X marks the spot. You can go up and over like that, or just go left to right. That makes the most sense. Or in certain cases, maybe you go right to left. But in this case, we're going only in that direction. Okay, because otherwise the numbers get too big should you be going back this way. Does everyone remember that from last year when you're numbering these carbons on the parent chain? Okay, this is what I mean. This is a quick refresher. Going left to right, we've got a derivative on number 2 and number 4. Okay, 2 comma 4 going that way. But if we go this way, it's 3 comma 5 going that way. So therefore, we pick this combination over that one because that's a lower number. Okay, so we've got 2 derivatives. They are methyl groups. And where are those methyl groups located? We just said 2 and 4. So remember, commas separate numbers. Then you got to put two letters on there. That means two of the same derivative. Die. Yep. 2 comma 4 dash, I guess you don't need that second dash in there. 2 comma 4 dimethylhexane. Okay, so very quickly, alkane, carbon and hydrogen only, all single bonded. 6 carbons in the parent chain. This is a derivative. This is saying that there's 2 of them, and then that tells you where they're at. All right. Can we say we're all good? All right, we will stop there for today. If you feel so inclined, go ahead and take your legs for a walk. Catch up to you tomorrow.